Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be looking at a few of my stocks in my current portfolio. I want to give you all an update as to where I think this is going long term. Remember, this is not financial advice, just my opinion. So let's dive right into it. First up, we are going to start with Bitmine. As you know, this is a cryptocurrency mining industry company. So what we can talk about here is that they are one of the largest, if not the largest, Ethereum holding companies. We can see the performance has been quite staggering. 35% total return. We can see my average price here. As always, I like to be transparent with all of you and show you where the performance has gone. This actually got listed back on June 5th, 2025 and really didn't do much for a few days. And we can see it spiked as high as $135 per share back on July 3rd, 2025. We can see that the overall performance has continued to decline since then because of selling off and also because people wanted to collect profits, but we are continuing to climb back up on that. And we can see that my average price right here was $39.81. It's a position that I am wanting to add more potentially here into the future as Ethereum continues to skyrocket. So I like where this company is at. Overall, we can see where their market cap is. We're nearing 10 billion. And of course, the price to earnings ratio is negative at the moment, but it's worth noting. Of course, Bitmine is a company that is actually ran by Tom Lee. He is the active investor in this company. And it's nice to see that this company continues to go up in value, and we can see that where the Robinhood metrics are, so it's not too bad. Overall, I like it. Let's move on to the next stock right now. My next stock here is Oscar Health. As you all know, I was having some doubts in my mind about the longevity of this company and how long it could actually last. So here's the thing. People always want the next big stock, and I believe that Oscar Health has the potential to do that. If you're unfamiliar with what the company does, go ahead and read this description down here, but they are a health insurance company that is online, and I love the way they are working the metrics of how to grow this specific company. If we want to look at the performance year to date, we're only up 24.49%. It's not the best performance, but it's so far so good. And of course, if we want to look at 1 year, little under 1%, or actually 0.5%, I should say here. So it's not the best, but again, this company is still building. It IPO'd back on March 3rd, 2021 and hasn't really done much since, but I believe in it long term. Of course, I'm always transparent with all of you, so I like to show you my average cost and how much my total return is. Remember, this is not financial advice, just my opinion. So this is a company I will add to more as time goes on. And of course, we can go look at the metrics of what Robinhood users have been doing, hedge funds, and of course, insiders. Now we can look at the profitability of this company right here and where it actually met. The next one is expected on November 6th. And of course, they met expectations back on Q2. We'll wait and see what Q3 looks like, but that is what it is so far. Anyway, we can come back to the very top and we can see this company is something to look into long term. Let's move on to my next stock right now. So my next stock here is Robinhood Markets. And what I really enjoyed about this was watching this company grow since basically $22 a share. Let me just scroll down here to the very bottom to kind of show you and be transparent with all of you because that's what I like to do. I actually just was experimenting with the Robinhood platform back last year and I bought one share at $22.89. And we can see I have continued to add some to this position because I thought it was fun to watch this grow. And of course, I like to see this company continue to execute on all metrics. Let's move on back to the performance right now. So if you look at the performance of this company, my overall average cost was $87. I own 14 shares. We can see my total profit is 25.63%, but we can notice that the most impressive thing about Robinhood and this specific stock is the performance. Look at that, 183.69% year to date. That is a staggering percentage. One of the best returns I have ever seen in a stock year to date. And that's what I love to see in a company. Overall, the company is good in the past year. We're up 442.69%, which is kind of insane because like I had said, I bought the company back here around $22 a share and we can see exactly where it was going. February, it spiked to 60. And of course, we had those tariff scares back in April and we had some buying opportunities, but since then it has skyrocketed. Now, of course, if we look at the max time frame, it tells a very different story. It IPO'd back on July 29th, 2021 2021 for $38. But ever since then, it has been kind of just not been doing much for the better part of about 3 years. So, 2021, it was declining. 2022, 2023, and 24, there wasn't much to talk about. But ever since the innovation of Vlad and the team there at Robinhood, we can see exactly where this company is going. And I'd love to see that. They're cash flow positive. And of course, they are based out of California, which is nice because I'm also based out of California. So I like to support California-based companies. And of course, Robinhood users, we can see what they're doing on their trends. And of course, hedge funds and then insiders. And what I always like to see is where they were reporting their estimates of earnings. And they actually beat earnings. So it's a company I think that is worth investing in long term. Let's move on to my next stock right now. My final stock here is AST SpaceMobile. If you're unfamiliar with it, please go ahead and read this description right down here. But it is a cellular network in space, which is promising because as we all know, we do not like having dropped calls. We do not like having service, in the middle of nowhere. It's not fun. We want service 24/7. That's why I think this company is a good bet long term. Of course, it is just getting started. This company is actually based out of Midland, Texas. It was founded in 2017, so it hasn't been around that long. Now, as for the price performance of the stock, we can see it's up 124.69% year to date, which is staggering. Of course, if we want to look at 1 year, the returns actually changed to 29.43%. It's still not bad. It's not the most impressive, but that's where the company's been going. In the past 5 years, 375.17%. And of course, if we do max time frame, we are nearing a 400% total return since IPO back on 2019, November 1st, which is nice to see because it was $9.77 a share. And today we're sitting at nearly $50 a share, which I like to see. And of course, I'm always transparent with all of you. I like to show you my average price, my total return, and how many shares I own, which we can see right there. I own 10 shares. Of course, I like to come down and look at the metrics of the trends and where the hedge funds are going with this, and of course the insiders. And the final thing here is we can actually look at where their earnings were. So they actually missed earnings, and which is okay. It's not a problem, but the fact is they are a company that I think and I believe that is worth investing into long term because of the actual promise of creating a space mobile network. I like that, and I think it's a long-term play. Overall, those are my stocks. Hope you all appreciated the insights into what I'm currently holding in my portfolio. Let me know if you have any more questions or want to talk about something specific. Please drop it down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.